Yo, what's going on, my fellow revelers? Welcome back to another episode of the Festy Hub Podcast. I'm your host, Manny, aka Frisky Hug, and today's guest we have Jason Euler joining the podcast. Jason, he works with Relentless Beats. He is the experience creator. He's been working there for a few years. Honestly, we kind of dive into a little bit like how he got started. I actually bumped into Jason Euler at Groove Cruise, and I got to hear his story on like how he got started with everything. And honestly, it's a pretty inspiring story. So I kind of wanted him to share that on here as well. So he tells us a little bit about how he got started with getting into the industry, and then he talks a little bit about like Relentless Beats, what he does for Relentless Beats, and then we kind of dive into Decadence Arizona. That is the festival that's happening in like 2 weeks. They just changed venues, so we talk a little bit about that, and just ultimately, what the vision expectations are for Decadence Arizona. The episode is really, really awesome and really informative. If any of you guys have a lot of questions, which a lot of people do, because a lot of like changes have been happening with Relentless Beats and like the festivals that have been going on over there, so we uncover a lot of that information in this episode. Um, but I don't really have much to update you guys. I know update you guys usually a lot on every episode. I'm just kind of the same boat. I really don't know what I'm doing after the new year. I got, a couple of things in the works right now, but we're gonna just figure it out as we go. I'm gonna keep this intro short. I really hope you guys enjoy this episode. All right, so I'd like to welcome Jason Euler to the podcast. How's
How
it
we
going,
doing? How
brother?
we doing? That's
Good,
going
man.
well, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Man, the last time this guy saw me, I was I was in a
Two
part like
sheets,
I
two
was
sheets to the wind.
I was this close to being in a drunk tank in Cabo.
Yeah, Groove Cruise was a hell of a time. It was fun being on that ship and getting to see you there. And I'm glad we're reconnecting now.
I mean, if I could let loose somewhere, man, Groove Cruise was definitely the
That's the
place.
place. Amen.
Um,
Absolutely.
but I went to for the viewers, like I went to his panel. He had like a network panel. He was with literally next to just like a panel of legends. Honestly, like everybody I saw there, I'm like, what the hell? I recorded most of it. Honestly, I was just very intrigued by everything you guys had to say. And the only reason I went there was to literally listen to you guys talk, which is so cool because like I'm always the one doing the talking. So for me to go somewhere to listen to other people talk was so admiring and so cool.
Yeah.
I did get a lot. I learned a lot from you there. But for the viewers who don't really like know much about you, even the ones that do, if you wouldn't mind just kind of giving a story,
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah. My name is Jason Euler. I just turned 30 as of this last weekend. I've been working full time in dance music for what'll be 4 years in February here. And then I had another 2.5 year stint prior to that, which was really my early grinding phase, figuring out how to get into the music industry, how to get my foot in the door. And I'm sure we'll go into that story. But I live here in Arizona. I work full time for Relentless Beats. We're one of the largest concert and festival producers in the Southwestern United States. We're doing anywhere in the ballpark for 350 to 400 events annually now, all across the Southwestern United States. And then obviously I work on Groove Cruise where I got to hang out with you.
Ah, the are you like from Arizona, like born and raised, or did you come from
Yeah.
somewhere else?
No, I was born and raised in Flagstaff, Arizona. I was like third generation at my high school there. Dad, grandpa both went there. There will not be a fourth generation. I don't plan on moving back to the hometown anytime soon. I live in Phoenix full time right now, which is where Relentless is based out of. But yeah, 18 years in Flagstaff. Lived in 7 different cities over the course
Mhm.
of 5 years after I graduated high school. Playing baseball, I
Yeah,
played all the way up to professional baseball, and
really.
then yeah, so I went to college all 4 years for baseball. Played in the minor leagues for a brief stint, and then
Wow. What?
yeah, yeah. It was like 2 or 3 months after my last baseball game. My friends dragged me out to my first festival,
Yeah,
rave, whatever
yeah.
you want to call it.
Changed your life.
And yeah, and then it was just I lost like my love of baseball, and for like 3 months I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. And then I got dragged to a festival. I'm like, this is freaking awesome. I should do this for a job. This is way better than my corporate sales job I was currently at, and
Yeah.
that kind of led me on the road there.
You were doing corporate sales jobs selling what?
Yeah, so my first company I worked for was a tech company called ZenReach. We sold Wi-Fi that collected data and tracked phones within clubs, restaurants, and bars, so it could see how often you were going to the restaurant, how long you were staying there. If you didn't come back for 30 days, you'd get an automated email with like 20% off. So it was a pretty crazy technology.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher was an investor, Kevin Durant. So that was my first like
Ashton
corporate tech
Kutcher,
job.
was he had his toes in so many things.
Oh yeah, he's on Shark Tank now too, so
Yeah.
he's doing it. So yeah, I did that at first, and my first few months there, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be in corporate sales. I'll work my way up the ladder and live a good life. And then yeah, then my friends dragged me to a festival, and it was game over after that. And then the main job just really became a bank account to fund me
Mm.
building an entertainment company, which I built my first entertainment. I launched it when I was 23, going on 24. My first festival, I didn't want to go at first. I was like, not my scene. I don't know what to expect. And my friends are like, no, you're coming. And they dragged me. I ended up going and having the absolute time of my life. So much that my phone died. I lost all my
No,
friends.
you're
It's
that
like
guy.
I was that guy. It was the first festival, and they just lost me. And my phone died, and I'm just like talking to strangers, learning about festival culture and the experience and
But
all
that's like the
that.
best part though.
It was one of the best nights of my life. And like my friends, the funny part is my friends all thought I'd left. They're like, oh, Euler thought this was awful. He didn't want to be here. So they thought I just dipped. And I'm just having the best time of my life.
Yeah.
I
They were
wake
here
up the
worried
next
about you. They're like, oh.
straight up like horrible friends. Like, where are you guys at? And then now I look back, because if they didn't do this, I wouldn't be sitting here talking today or doing what
Yeah.
I'm doing, because I woke up the next day with like $150 Uber charge on my phone. And I was like fresh out of college, like broke as a joke, and not done playing pro ball. I'm like, I have no money. And so then I'm like, that's awful. And then the next festival came up, and I bought my ticket like super last minute. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
shit, transportation. And I rented a party bus, and I got a 60 passenger bus for like $500. And I thought I'd get 30 friends maybe to commit to ride the bus.
Mhm.
So I charged them all accordingly, just so I'd break even, so I don't lose money on the bus. Had 75 people on the bus. The pregame was at my house, made 3 grand in a week.
Wow.
And I was like, well, crap. Like, I wasn't trying to like make money off my friends. It just wasn't the goal.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to Venmo everyone back, because what a pain in the ass. So I donated it all to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and I put the like receipt and the contact to the donor director. I'm like, yo, money went to Phoenix Children's. If you have a problem, like call this number. Obviously, everyone was like more than cool with it, because it's just some extra bucks. But we ended up donating all the proceeds to Phoenix Children's Hospital. And then that night, this was Global Dance. So my
Mhm.
first festival was Mad Decent. That's where I got stranded. And then the second one was Global Dance. I go to Global Dance. I see like God, Galantis, Alice in
What year
Wonderland,
was this?
2016.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was like the moment when as a kid, I walked out of the festival. Go, I'm going to work in the music industry, and like that was like my aha moment. Well, the last person that got off the party bus that night goes, "What's the plan for Decadence Party Bus?" Which was the next festival, and like
Yeah.
the light bulb goes off. I had a few adult beverages that night. I'm
I
feeling good, and
mean, you're the guy.
I had I had no money. I had no money though. I'm still broke at this time,
Yeah.
and like I'm like, well, I need to start. And so that night at 3:30 in the morning, I made a company email address, because it was free to do, and it was just like a starting point. And then the next day, I woke up, made a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I went on to run one bus, then two bus, then three buses, all the way to the point where we were hauling thousands of passengers to and from the festivals. And the funny, ironic part was I had reached out to Relentless Beats at that time, like, hey, I just want to sell tickets just so I can go to the shows for free. Like, what do I got to do to sell tickets? And like, they're a big company, and a lot of time, and like, I just never
Mhm.
heard back. So I do all these party buses. I start saving up this money, and what we did is we had to turn it into a business. But what I continue to do is every single bus, we would still donate a percentage of proceeds to a different nonprofit. So we started working with like Arizona Special Olympics, Arizona Bosom Buddies Breast Cancer Foundation, Arizona Humane Society, Arizona's Teach One to Lead One, Boys and Girls Club. Like, we just kept doing all these different nonprofits with it. And with the proceeds, I finally saved up enough. I'm like, well, why don't we just throw our own show?
Mhm.
So I rented out Shady Park for the night, which is like Arizona's renowned venue. I booked a headliner and flew him in, and show was on my 25th birthday, and it was just kind of took off from there. That
Like
was really kind of the
5 years
starting point.
ago.
Yeah,
5 years ago last week.
yeah, literally, yeah, exactly 5 years ago, because it was on my birthday. So, yeah, it's been a crazy, like it's amazing how much your life can change just in the course of 5 years. To what you thought you'd do to what you're doing, and just the road in between. It's crazy.
I think most people like in the industry can relate to that. It's just like, we're not even the same person we were last year. It's like,
Well, you're not growing if you are, in a lot of ways. And change, at the end of the day, change is the only constant thing in life.
yeah.
And I've come to learn that the older I get.
The so a couple things, because like you mentioned baseball earlier, and I just had to add that like I
Yeah.
did sports for college as well. I wasn't like
Okay.
minor leagues, nothing. I wasn't like that cool,
Yeah.
but like I did college sports, and I have to say like college sports is probably one of like my favorite times of like my life.
It's
Like
a great time.
I literally I don't even think I did that well in school. I literally just was like focusing just on
I
sports.
wouldn't have been in. I wouldn't have been in college. Like, I ended up getting a degree in psychology. Like, I wouldn't even have been in school. Like, had it not been for baseball. So that was definitely my real major. But just the how it shaped me and the skills it taught me and
Yeah.
character and just responsibility and just that grind that comes with being an athlete. I was able to take everything I learned from that, like that type of hustle and grind, and put it into music once I
Yeah.
found a new passion. So for me, it was like I said, it was a tough time. Those
It,
3 months in between, I'm like, what am I doing here? And I was able to find something that became my passion again, which was
I
incredible.
I admire other people who like have done college sports because it really shows your determination. If you did college sports, you have that. You have
You
determination.
have to.
I mean, there's you are in a constant fight with yourself in college sports.
5 a.m.
Yeah,
weightlifting in college
like
was the worst. My coach was insane. We were late at 4:45. If we showed up at 4:45 for 5 a.m.
oh,
Weights, we were like, yeah,
your
you're
coach
you're
was
on time.
ex-military.
Oh yeah, you're on time if you're early. You're late if you're on time.
Yeah, you have to be 10 minutes early to the 10 minutes early. Otherwise you're late.
100%. You did not want to be late.
I mean, that's a good dude, man. He touches some good stuff.
Yeah.
That's something we learned in the military. But then you went on to talk about your first event being was that block party, right? Or the
Well,
Mad
so I did
Decent.
the show at Shady. Yeah, my first event I went to was Mad Decent Block Party. I ended up
Yeah.
throwing a few block parties of my own, and that's where the company really ended up taking
Yeah.
off.
So when you went to Global Dance Music Festival in
Mhm.
Arizona, you said it was 2016. That was my
Yeah,
second Global Dance that I had been to. So I was there too.
yeah, yeah.
I like I said, like we spoke a little offline, but like yeah, this is gonna be either my sixth or my seventh. I'm pretty sure it's my seventh Decadence, Arizona. I've done OMFG in San
Crazy.
Diego. I've done
Yeah,
White Wonderland in LA back when Insomniac was sharing
still
the
doing
venue
that.
with
Yeah.
Disney. I have done Global Dance in Colorado, and I was gonna go to Hijinks this year, but you convinced me to go to Decadence, Arizona again.
Good. Sorry, but I'm not sorry.
I know, like, so like I've been wanting to like do something with Live Nation for so long, and like this was it, and like you just like threw a curveball at me, and I'm like, all right,
Hey, dude,
cool.
Live Nation's got their hands in everything. Like we're like for as big as we are and as we
They
seem
do
on
though, they
social
really do.
sometimes,
So
like like for us, we're still an independent
yeah,
promoter. We're still rocking with the same team, no shareholders, and it's a really tough place to be in because like those events that have shareholders and huge corporate backing,
hmm
like they've created this like level of production expectations. So people are like, well, why doesn't Relentless Beats do X, Y, and Z there? And I'm like, we're not Live Nation. We're still an independent promoter
and
regardless.
it's funny that you say that because a lot of people that go to like the Relentless Beats events, they like live in Arizona or the areas where like they're predominantly Relentless Beats festival, so they think Relentless Beats is
Yeah.
actually bigger than they are, and it's like
Oh,
they
for
don't,
sure.
so it's
Yeah, we're
like
still very much a family-run organization. There's like, at the end of the day, there's 16 people here in the office right now, and we're a very tight-knit group, and
yeah.
we do a lot of heavy lifting together.
And that's just something that like hopefully people will realize because I do know that like people always have, and not just like for Relentless Beast, but like I'm talking about like a lot of events that people don't
Any
realize.
festival.
So like Imagine, for instance, like people don't realize that Imagine is like a one person owned festival. Like
Mhm,
it's
exactly.
people think that it's an Insomniac festival. Like no, dude, like this is like literally family owned music
Yeah,
festival.
some dude just rolling the
Some
dice with the money he's
yeah,
earned over his life. Because
dude.
like even me here with my CEO, like my CEO started throwing parties in the desert in 1996. Like dance music just happened to catch like this wave, and he was there at the right time and was able to go. But like he was telling me stories back of like booking Skrillex or Porter for like 500 to $1,000 back in the day, which is just like insane.
I mean we booked 8 crates for like $300 before, so
Yeah, that's just
so I mean, my
crazy.
my friends like throw like warehouse parties, and they were like, "Hey, Chris, like Charlie, here's $300." Back then,
Oh
before
yeah,
so. And then it's funny because like once he had his one hit wonder, he still has the contracts from earlier shows he already
yeah,
promised, So,
and had to finish those up. Yeah, crazy.
but what is Relentless Beats? Is there a way you could like define that for us? Like, what does Relentless
Yeah.
Beats do exactly?
Yeah, I mean, we're the largest concert and festival producer in the Southwest U.S. Really, we'll book anywhere from 800 plus acts a year. Primarily dance music. We've ventured into booking some things like rock. We've done some reggae shows and some other stuff. But dance music's always been the bread and butter. That's really where my CEO built the company out of. But yeah, I mean, we operate. God, I'd probably say 90% or more of the dance music throughout the state of Arizona.
Okay, see, I had no idea you guys did other things as well.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
new.
Yeah, we got to do like All American Rejects and Boys Like Girls last year, which like my middle
I
school
mean,
self was
I'm
like,
about to say,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
still
my
a
middle school
fan.
self was like screaming when we booked that.
I'm over here trying to go
You
to We
know,
Are Young.
exactly, and then like we just announced Hunter Hayes out in Hawaii. We're doing some shows out in Hawaii now. So that was, doing a country show out there with that. So, we're starting to branch into some other things. Once you learn how to produce an event, at the end of
Mhm.
the day, I always say there's no proprietary thing about producing events. It's just how good are your systems, how good are your operations, and how good are the
Mhm.
people who are running them. And that's really just kind of the formula we've figured out. We figured out how to run things really efficiently, consistently, and put the people in the right roles to get things done.
Yeah. What is your role in like Relentless Beats?
Yeah. So my overall title is experience creator, and it really filters a number of hats. I do a number of things.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so I do everything from on-site decor to experiences. Like I'm including dodgeball in this next festival. I've put roller discos at festivals. We've done silent discos. I've brought out like axe throwing. We put braid and beauty bars in. So for me, I kind of get to have that like fun thing. Like when I was a kid going to the
Mhm.
festival, I was like, oh, that'd be so cool if they had this, and like that was me at Global in that Western town that first year. Like, oh, it'd be so cool if all these were open, and like, and there was a different experience in every
Yeah.
building. Last year for Gold Rush, I got to do that. I put an experience in every single building. We had a mechanical bull, roller disco. Like I said, we did axe throwing. We had some braid and beauty bars. We had fortune tellers. We had a bunch of photo ops and just
Oh, fortune
different fun
tellers.
things.
That's pretty freaking
Yeah,
cool.
so we do a bunch of different stuff on that front on the experience side, and then I negotiate all our partnerships and sponsorships as well. So I do all the things like the beer, the liquor deals. We work with tons of cannabis companies, tech companies, things like that sponsor the event. So whenever you see those branded lounges or activations, is what
Mhm.
they're called, I'm in charge of negotiating those deals, and then all the way to the point of activating them on site. So if you see a brand on site, I've been negotiating those
Oh,
deals.
gotcha.
Mhm.
I think a few years ago there was a Tito's one.
Yep, yeah,
Yep,
that's that. Yeah.
gotcha. That's funny because
So
like it's funny because like a lot of just recently like those guys have been hitting me up to do collaborations like
yeah,
and represent them, which is super funny. It
yeah, I
all
love
just
it.
kind of
It was
ties in.
awesome. I know we had Nigel Houston out there that year. He's a huge Tito's fan, and I got one photo for the sponsor of him on the deck with two handles of Tito's, just in a Tito's sweatshirt, and sponsor was going nuts over it. But yeah, so it's cool. At the end of the day, I really focus on where are people going to spend time connecting
Mhm.
with their friends. I always say like you're not always going to remember who you saw or the performances or whatever, but like you'll always remember those moments of your friends and where you were at and who you were with. So I try to create the spaces for that to happen.
Do you like to make it themed, or do you usually just keep mixing it up every single time? Like, well,
It
what is your process like when you think of these things?
it just really depends. Theming really comes down to the decor, the lighting, and how the
Yeah,
decorations look. And you could take axe throwing and make it Western themed and put like some shootouts or some like fun stuff with it.
that's true.
Um, yeah, so you can kind of theme out the different activations. Roller disco again. You're just setting that up. We did like a '70s theme. We did a Gold Rush last year. We ended up doing like a portal. You walked from this Western town into like a '70s themed portal. And we just completely just weird because
Yeah,
it's a festival. It doesn't need to have logic.
yeah, true. I love
you
that
know?
portal idea too. It's like leaving 2022, and the other side it says "Welcome to 2023."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Something like that. So
That's really cool. I really love that. Let's go and start talking about Decadence Arizona since we're literally
yeah.
leaning that way anyways.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
I mean, Decadence Arizona is like in 2 weeks, so it'd be really cool to
Don't
kind of
remind
get.
me.
I know. That's all right.
Yeah, last 2 weeks of playing the festival are always the most stressful.
Yeah, that's what I was like when I was trying to like plan this. I was like, hey, like let me know whenever you got time because I know you're already one in
Yeah.
Mexico and two getting ready for Decadence. I'm like,
We're
uh,
spinning plates.
but you said, so how many years has Decadence been going on for? Do you know how long the history of that is?
I want to say we're heading into our 8th year, and then obviously there was a COVID year. We all missed New Year's, unfortunately. So would have been 9.
Oh wow! So like I haven't actually been missing too much of it. Like I mean, well then again,
Yeah, you've
seven.
been
I've
to,
been
yeah.
I've been doing quite a. I've been
I was
going
gonna
to
say you've been to a couple.
I mean, I've skipped a couple of years. I mean, I definitely skipped a few years, but just like
Yeah,
I need to know, I can't just go to the same New Year's festival all the time. But Decadence Arizona, when it came to like my favorite New Year's festival, Decadence Arizona was it, which is why I kept going to it,
appreciate
even though I live in different states.
that.
I lived in Colorado, and we're gonna
Yeah,
touch up on the relation between, because I want to know the relation between the Colorado one and the Arizona one.
yeah,
But
of course.
I lived in Colorado, and I would fly to Arizona every year to go to the Arizona one. If
Yeah,
that
even though
doesn't
there's
say, if that doesn't
well,
say,
we got to be outside instead of we got to be outside at some of the times, and then you're just dealing with weather pending. But I've seen Decadence some years where it's raining, it's miserable. I've seen
yeah,
other years where it didn't rain and it was just awesome to still be outside and have that. Because at least for me with dance music, I love open air.
yeah,
I do
yeah.
like it's the best way to experience it.
And even with the rain, because I was there when we got hit with a lot of rain, so I've dealt with Decadence Arizona. Sometimes the rain isn't that bad. Sometimes it's actually really cold, and I'm just really glad I brought a onesie. But then we have the
Yeah,
barn. We had the barn. I guess we'll
yeah,
talk a little bit about the venue change.
new
Um,
venue. Yeah,
well, we when they had the bar or the barn, I was like, oh, okay, like get a little bit out of the rain. But honestly, the rain in Decadence Arizona is not that bad. Like it's
yeah, it's
but
manageable.
yeah, the Colorado snow is not
Yeah,
manageable.
that's a different story.
There was a whole ass blizzard when I went, and then we
Yeah.
went outside, and I had a onesie and coats, and I was still freezing to death. We couldn't find an Uber, so we walked 2 miles to our hotel, and
See, that was exactly where I wound up getting the party bus on my first festival, and then after Decadence, everyone wanted to get on the party buses to go back home because it was warm. We handed out
mhm.
water, and it was just a nice vibe on the way home.
It was just so hard to do really much when there's 6 inches of snow because it's like in the middle of a blizzard, and I'm just like,
Yeah, exactly.
and then we Ubered there, and our Uber was like messing around with that e-brake like it was a joystick, and I was like, I'm very uncomfortable. I'd rather just walk at
Yeah,
this point. But I mean, living in Colorado, I still flew to Arizona for Decadence. In my opinion, it's still one of my favorite festivals.
love it.
To point like, and I've been to a lot of
Yeah,
New Year's ones. Um, I'm kind of curious as to the relations between the Colorado Decadence and the
yeah.
Arizona Decadence. Is like, did one come first? Was like, what kind of partnership is that? Like, I don't really know.
Totally. So we work with Global Dance on a few things. My CEO and CEO Global Ha, they're longtime, very good friends. So they've always just done a lot of work together. As they came up at the same time as Ha was really building Global, and
Yep.
Thomas, my CEO, was really building Relentless Beats, and just force of friendship. And it helps out like logistically. Like you'll see some similar artists on each lineup because
Yeah.
they'll play one and hop on a jet and get up and go play the other. I've been there when Skrillex walks off stage and he's just sprinting to get into an airport so he can make his 1 o'clock in Denver. So it helps to being able to double up artists. We're able to get a little more talent for both
Mhm.
events and just work together and support each other.
I guess it wouldn't be like a bad idea to like have all the artists on one day at one festival, and then all the others playing at the other day, and then just get
Sometimes
it.
it's the same day.
Yeah, true. But for the ones that you don't, like, hey, put them all together. You guys all take a
Yeah,
private jet, and then it saves everyone money. I put like
yeah,
six DJs in at once.
yeah, 100%. Load them up. Tough life.
I know. I do admire the DJs who literally have to play like 2 to 3 festivals in one night. So
Oh,
it's
totally. My old roommate is actually John Summit's manager, and watching the rocket ship he's gone on with John, like just the weekends he's away, I'm like, God,
Mhm.
dude, my body hurts just watching your
Wait,
Instagram
who's
story.
your old roommate?
Parker Cohen.
Oh,
Yeah. So Parker, you'll see him in the back of all of John's thing. He's the manager with the phone up and smiling and cheesing all the time. But yeah, Parker's an old roommate and a very good friend of mine.
that's awesome. I was talking to the other Jason yesterday about Groove Cruise, and I was like, you know what, man, I missed the Groove Cruise where John Summit was at. We should bring him back again. Like, yeah, he's always a good
Yeah.
time, man.
No,
Um,
that guy does not know how to have a bad time, to say the least.
the I'm curious about another thing. So Decadence, Arizona is now at a new location. It's at
Yeah.
Avondale. I've never actually been to
Yeah, we're in
Avondale.
Avondale, which is a suburb right outside of Phoenix. It's at Phoenix Raceway. They actually host one of the biggest races in NASCAR every year, which is the NASCAR Championship
Mhm.
Series. So that's in November every year, and they just did that. But essentially our new home for a lot of major events. Obviously EDC uses the raceway, and in Vegas, this track is a little smaller than that track, but the outside of it has some areas where we can do too. So a lot of potential to host a lot of people there, though, and just good infrastructure,
Mhm.
amenities. There's a reason the biggest festival in the world does it in a space like
Yeah.
this.
So what was the deal was, I guess for the barn place, I forget what the damn venue was called.
Rawhide,
Rawhide.
yeah.
So was it just like a contract just ended and then it was like, "Hey, let's just go somewhere bigger," or
Yeah, it was a number of things, a lot of politics involved. That
Gotcha.
property is located on the Indian reservation, so they're kind of under their own government out
Oh, I
there.
did not know that.
Um, yeah, exactly. But they haven't hosted any events out there at all this year, so they're just really not doing any events. The Phoenix FC Rising soccer team MLS was out there, and now they're moving back into the
Mhm.
city. And there's actually rumors that a highway is going over the property, or they're building some new thing. So yeah, it just it ended, and it just wasn't an opportunity to go back. And for us, even, we needed to find a place we can really
Mhm.
try to grow and scale even beyond, and the raceway really provided that potential for growth.
Yeah, I was looking around because I was like trying to like check out hotels in the area and that kind of stuff. I mean, hotels, there's a bundle of them like 10 minutes north of the
Oh
venue.
yeah.
So, I mean, and I think are you guys providing shuttle service to and from?
Yep. Yeah, full round trip shuttle service. um, we have a number of hotel partners. We do travel packages as well. We are really trying to cater to more out of state individuals like
Yeah.
yourself. We really want them. Hey, come meet our community here in Arizona. Like I've been to a lot of dance communities and cultures around the country in different places, and like our local scene and our community here is really really something special. It's a tight knit group.
Yeah.
And I think that's really felt at our festivals.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check out the shuttle service stuff because I didn't look into I don't know why it didn't even dawn on me to even look up to see if you guys are doing shuttles.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have
Uh,
a car or anything. I don't know. I was gonna just Uber. Like, I don't know. That's good to know though. Actually, you guys are doing a whole shuttle service. And then
yeah.
yeah, I did notice all the hotels were around there, and all the hotels are like 3 minutes from each other, which is super
Yeah.
convenient for
Well,
everybody.
because they do so many attendees for NASCAR out there too, as well. So,
Yeah.
again, just another reason that, hey, there's potential for long-term growth here.
Yeah, what is your opinion on the new venue? Do you like it? Do you like the potential it holds and stuff like that?
I
Or
really like the potential it holds. Like with anything, like Ride, our last venue, we were there for 7, 8 years, and like
Mhm.
you do enough festivals there, you learn how to set it up, how not to set it up, and this year has been tough in some cases where it's trial and error, and we're having to
Yeah,
really reconfigure out how we're setting this up, how we're utilizing the site best, and we got a number of events under our belt, and I think next year we're going to be able to refine that even further, and um, but overall the amenities are there, the infrastructure is there, and I think that provides for a better attendee experience overall, and that's what matters most. And um,
what is the capacity size difference between both venues? I'm assuming the race car must have like what, double?
they do, like, they NASCAR alone for their championship weekend, they do 80,000 people out there. It's like a small.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a big weekend. So, like, they have, like, they set up convenience stores in the middle, and they have tons of RV lots because everyone comes and camps. So,
Mhm.
Decadence for us, we'll do 35,000 attendees this year, and whatnot. But that's the potential it has to get up to that. So, Rawhide, we were kind of getting near what our limit would look like there, and
That's
I think
pretty
you saw,
that's
like,
that's really
yeah.
cool, man. Cause like really it's like I mean, you're only gonna go up from here and there's no there a lot of people they really worry about the size of the venue that they have, whether it can hold as many people and sometimes, right? So like you guys can set your own limits and then just go from there,
which is
really.
which is
So
really nice. Yeah, I mean, if we bring in more partners, or we need to add more
mhm.
experiences, or the capacity grows, then, we can kind of scale things out, and that, again, that's what gives us that level to grow into, and you're not having to fight that battle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It'll be my first time at the venue. I'm
Yeah,
obviously excited to see you as well, and like, but I really want to check out
absolutely.
like the kind of activity. Like, I'm really excited to see the kind of activities you guys got going on.
See you on the dodgeball court.
You're okay. So let's. I mean, are all the activities already out? Or are they online? Like, is it for
We're
or
going to be doing a release here shortly in like the next week or so, but they're all coming out. Dodgeball, shuffling classes, beatbox is coming in and building out an entire beatbox busing and stage. We have an entire, like, chalk mural area. We're going to see who can do the best chalk art on the ground. We have our cast of characters with Weird and Wonderful, which are contortionists,
yeah?
fire breathers, stilt walkers. kind of everything along those lines. And then we're building out a really comfortable, like interactive lounge space. We have a bunch of live artists coming out. We're working on a few different art cars and just lounge spaces to come out. So yeah, we're working on a few things. We did things like roller disco in a casino and some other stuff
Mhm.
last year, and weather was tough permitting, so we
Yeah,
passed on
that
roller
can be,
disco.
yeah.
Yeah, we
And
passed
it
on roller disco this year just in case.
and that's the
So
thing that's like the thing about like Arizona. It's like if it does happen to rain, what is like the chances of like whatever's happening could even be done afterwards, right? So it's like,
yeah, otherwise, lots of tented, covered, comfortable areas and stuff.
oh, true.
You'll be able to move in and out of the stages and things like that. And then, yeah, so it'll be comfortable. And we're ready. God forbid that the weather does happen, but you always have to
Yeah.
think about it.
Is Decadence gonna be 2 stages?
Three,
2
three
3
stages.
stages?
Yep.
Is the 3rd stage like a small DJ, local DJ stage, or is it like
We have some
another?
regional. It's like local and regional talent, and that's going to be on the Beatbox art card. Beatbox. I've
That's
been working with
right,
them.
the beatbox fam, yep.
Yeah. So I've been working with them for a year now, and they're really cool. Their founder actually is like a huge Above and Beyond fan, and he really built the company like with the spirit of dance music behind it. So they've been like just a killer partner. People love the drink. So they actually went and invested in their own art car, and they're going to bring their art
Wow.
car out. We're going to build a stage on it. So like, it's cool building a partnership and then seeing them really be like for the culture. So they've just been an awesome, awesome partner to work with.
Yeah, so, like, I work for Radiate, I do all the, like, Radiate, like, community
Oh
meetup
yeah,
stuff.
we've had Phil and the squad out multiple times. I hosted
Yep,
him at Gold Rush.
yep.
Good people. Yeah.
So I did I hosted the Radiate Beatbox collaboration meetup at Lost Lands, and it's like,
Yeah.
just seeing that beatbox is so, intertwined within the EDM scene is pretty cool. I wasn't sure if that was just something they were just dabbling in, but, like, to hear from you
No,
say,
no,
like,
yeah.
"Oh,
I
this is."
I remember it was Gold Rush 2021. I was with the founder and CEO, and like Above and Beyond's playing, and the dude was just loving every second of it. So I'm like, and for me, I'm like, that's the type of people I want to work with.
Yeah.
I don't want someone who just wants to sell it at our festival just to sell it at our festival. I want someone who loves the community and the culture and actually believes in it. And I want to work with brands like that. So that's just an example of a brand that's always been great for that.
That'd be really cool. I completely forgot about, yeah, the beatbox car. I can't wait to see that. That'll be pretty cool. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I hope to see the owner one of these days. Is he around Arizona? Does he like live around there?
No, no, he flew in just for the first partnership.
Oh,
We got to
gotcha.
chat, and a lot of the teams here though. They're all very very great people.
Yeah, I've met a lot of the team members. I'm like friends with Emma Capote, so she's introduced me
Yeah,
to a lot of the beatbox people and stuff like that. Especially like at
I love
Imagine,
it.
they had a whole like installation thing.
Yeah,
Super cool stuff. Um, what kind of vision and expectations does like Relentless Beats in general and you have for Decadence Arizona for this upcoming one next month or in 2 weeks?
yeah. I definitely think it's a, again, new year, new venue
Hmm.
for us. We're kind of having to get creative on that front. And I think we're really excited to kind of rebuild Decadence within this new venue and get our foothold here, see what works, what doesn't work, making sure we're delivering a quality experience, and
Yeah.
see what this can now, again, the potential for what it can now grow into given where we're at. So I think that's the exciting part.
I have a question, because it just dawned on me that like it's next to the airport. Does that affect any form of production? Because I know for Sunset, they're not allowed to shoot lasers because it's like 5 miles from the airport.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing,
Only
kind
issue,
of?
yeah, you can't hear any of the jets or anything like that at all. There's no noise like that, and it's a small private airport. It's not like the main international
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
But yeah, we have to get FAA clearance when we're running drones and things like
Oh,
that. All our laser techs
Jesus.
have to be
Yeah,
certified.
completely
I
forgot
mean,
about
it's
drones too.
yeah, so like yeah, there's a lot of factors that always go into it. I mean, it's festivals, you got to cover your ass with everything. Um, it's just the nature of the beast.
What? Oh man, I see. I don't want like I don't want you to like say anything you're not supposed to be saying, but like, is there gonna be fireworks at this year's Decadence? And or what do you guys have? Oh, see, I don't want to ask these questions. Like, I'm like, what do you guys have planned for the ball drop? Like,
Well, I can tell you the artist who's playing. I can't tell you who's playing, but what they're doing, the artist who's handling the ball drop is actually planning something customized and pretty special. So I'm really excited to see what that comes to life. Obviously both main stages, big stages are going to be within a tent and things like that. So there will be some things that go boom and loud and shiny and all that
Oh
fun stuff in
shit.
there. But in
Okay.
the inside the tent, there's a few different things in that. But yeah, I'm always excited for the ball
Yeah.
drop. It's an awesome moment. It's just so cool to see the crowd in that minute. Just for the last second of the year, everyone's in unison together. Just 3, 2, 1. So
I mean, I still remember it is very vivid, like memory where I was there for the ball drop, for the main stage of Decadence, Arizona, and
yeah,
like everything just falls down on you, and it's like you know, I was very disappointed last year for Countdown here. I mean, not they're not doing Countdown in Florida anymore, but I went to the first and probably last Countdown that they ever did for here in
yeah,
Florida. Um, I mean, I don't like saying names, but I'm gonna just drop the name right now. So Dead Mouse was doing the ball drop and he forgot.
yeah.
He forgot that it was a brand new year. 5 minutes down, I guess somebody tells him, "Hey, like the new year was 5 minutes ago." And he goes, "Oh shoot, guys, I forgot. Happy New Year." And I'm like, "Bruh."
I love Joel. Gee, that's like that, but that's so on brand for Dead Mouse because he's just so in the music. He's like, "What New Year?" He's like, "I'm just doing music." Like he's just a purist when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
So
Ekanova, my artist I manage. He went out to LA for the K5 show this weekend and
yeah,
did
I
that.
mean,
So
so yeah, Dead Mouse has been touring all over the place. He's been everywhere this year, honestly.
legend.
My
Yeah,
my buddy helps with like his merch stuff, so he tours with him.
yeah.
But yeah, that was like one of the things that I was like, oh god damn it, I missed Decadence. I was like,
So on brand for him though.
yeah, and Countdown, yeah, it's not happening again this year. I don't know what happened. But I guess not enough attendees. I guess in Florida, I don't really know. But I'm kind of glad because now I'm obviously venturing out to other festivals that aren't going to
There
be
you go.
local,
Yeah.
which is really cool and really interesting. As for the lineup for Decadence Arizona, like what do you think are like your heavy hitters for like this year?
I mean, Flume took the break he took. I know he did the
Bloom, I
big tour.
know.
He did the big tour, which is awesome. It was a lot of his new album and whatnot too. So I think
Yep.
I'm excited. We did his tour as well, but I'm excited to see him come back and play just a festival set because he's just going to break out all
Y'all did his tour
the
too?
yeah, that
Wow.
would have been back in early September. So, we're going to see him break out all the old schools and classics. Arizona loves Fisher. Fisher's always a big one
Yep.
here. You can never go wrong with a Porter Robinson set.
Oh my God, I know.
Zed's Dead's constantly killing it, and then Zed Dead's playing an altered state set for the after party, which is like their house music set. So for me, I'm like, catch me at the Zed's Dead after party. I'll be there for that. So I think those are all kind of big. Dr. Fresh is just such a fan favorite here. Like I think he might be the nicest, like not even just DJ, just like the
Yeah.
nicest human I've ever met. Like there is not a better forward facing artist for the community than Tony. Like Dr. Fresh is
Yeah.
as cool as it gets, man. I love
Uh,
that guy.
really excited for Lewis the Child too.
Oh
Like,
yeah, you can't. Yeah, how did I even leave them off? Yeah,
it's,
and then then you get a Subtronics. We got a Subtronics set too in there. So it's really a little bit of everything for all areas of dance music. We're juggled between stages, so I think the flow is going to be constant and
uh,
moving around.
I
So
mean, I'm looking at like all the festivals going on for New Year's.
mhm,
Decadence Arizona probably has the best lineup that I saw. Very
yeah,
diverse and some really big hitters too. So it's
yeah.
like,
And then I'm biased. I manage Ekanova, who's he's one of the up and
yeah,
comers on the
yeah.
lineup. But I'm happy to have him on there. This will be the second Decadence he's played, and he's just coming off his first North American tour that we did this year that he and I put together. So really excited for him.
You mentioned the after parties.
Yeah.
What are the after parties that are happening for Decadence? And then where's the location? Where are they happening
So it's
exactly?
on site. So you get done with the
So I
festival,
don't
and then
even
you
have to
roll over
go
to.
anywhere.
Yeah, we got another roll. You don't want to kill the momentum and have to move. So we just roll it on. And right now it's Zed's Dead New Year's Eve. We've run after parties out there till like 5, 6 a.m. on New Year's
Shit,
and
I
years
might have to
past. Like
go.
I remember one year I was after partying and we gave Fisher a confetti gun. It was probably the most irresponsible thing we've ever done because he was just blasting every human in the face within a 5 foot radius with his confetti gun, just laughing his ass off.
Oh, was this
Um,
2018?
I think it would have been
2019.
2019.
Yeah, I was
Yep,
there for that.
yeah, yep. So
I was there.
I was the one refilling the confetti cannon for him.
Shit. I was literally like in the front just sitting down. I was so tired.
Yeah,
But it was like I'm like I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm a degenerate. I'm like I need to get out of
yeah.
here.
So you start questioning a few things. Been there.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
well, I think that day I was working
yeah.
Gen Z booth. They had been doing
Oh, love Gen Z.
So I was doing a vendor work for them. So I was like that was like the entire year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I lost my key that year, and I instead of me worrying about my car and it staying here and stuff like that, I just I went to the after party and then really just kind of like decided I was gonna have fun. And then when time came, I just ordered myself an Uber. Luckily, I always have everything in pair of twos, so I left my
Smart
second car
man.
key at my hotel, so I was good to go. I just needed
God,
to. No, I always come with a
that's a
backup
tough
plan.
one.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Definitely, I'm kind of looking forward for the after party. Then I'll talk to my friends, see
Yeah.
who's down. My question for that is: are you guys doing a shuttle service to and from, or is that one of those like you come to the afters, you're probably gonna have to Uber thing?
We partnered with a local cab company that's going to actually do below surge price rating, so people aren't getting gouged by Lyft and Uber
Oh,
surcharges.
okay.
So it's just a flat rate home, and we'll have a cab service, and we'll have an entire line there waiting for people to get out, even if it's 5, 6 a.m. or 4 a.m.
Wow, that's really good to know. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
because otherwise Uber ends up just overcharging. Again,
they
I'm a
do it
victim of it.
every year. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a victim of it. And so, for us, instead of going and trying to get like a sponsorship working with some big company, we'd rather work with someone who's going to take care of our attendees.
Okay, that's actually like really, really good information. I'm glad we actually covered that.
Mm.
Um, I think that's everything that I had for questions. I do want to know if there's anything that you want to talk about or anything that we would have missed that maybe you were kind of like hoping we talk about before we.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm really excited for next year. I just got the news today that I'm actually working on Shaq's Funhouse. So I'll be
Dude, I
getting to work
just
with
saw that.
I'll be getting to work with Shaquille O'Neal and his team leading into the Super Bowl, which is going to be here in Arizona next year. Him and Diplo and Snoop Dogg are all headlining that show. So that was just a really kind of cool career milestone to get to be a part of something like that. It's just I'm very humbled, honestly. Excited for Groove Cruise here in January, working my second one with them. And then Econova, my artist I manage, management's a huge passion of mine. And we just did a 20-city North American tour across all,
Yeah.
obviously, Mexico, Canada, and the US. We did it without an agent, by ourselves, like just him and I grinding it out. And he just turned 25, and we think next year he's about to have a really big breakout year, and we're
Yeah.
excited about it.
I was just talking to my friend about it. Like 2023 is gonna be like basically everything that we've been working for 2022 just coming to fruition and really just like helping us out for this next year. I don't know. It's like
Absolutely.
if you've been grinding it for 2022, I mean, the biggest thing is like if you've been patient enough, you've been working hard. 2023 is really gonna show you like what you've really been doing.
Yeah.
So
Like I said in the Neon Almy speaking, is the fruit's always the last thing to grow on the tree.
that's a
So
good one.
yeah, it is. So
I'll try to put everything down below, man. I'm gonna probably put a couple of links to like all the things you also got going on through like
yeah,
relentless
yeah.
stuff. That's in case people are interested. Like for the, you guys have a link for the fun house yet?
Yeah, I'll shoot everything over to you. But
Uh,
yeah, excited on that. I'll drop my socials. Anyone who wants to find me, it's just www.jasoneuler.ventures. My website, socials, everything's through there.
Yeah, I'll put everything down in the description below. And then this is just for the viewers. If you guys are trying to watch this, we do have this on video for SoundCloud. Sorry, not SoundCloud. We have this on video for Spotify and YouTube. Everything else is just audio, and it's on every streaming platform, at least every major streaming platform, to include Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, the whole works.
It
Um,
works.
but Jason, this has been freaking amazing, man. And just thank you for coming. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I know you're busy. I know
Yeah.
you got a lot of stuff going on. But this has
Thanks.
been a great talk. And like I say in every episode, I will catch y'all at the next one. Bye.
Thanks for having me.